Hey, what's going on, everybody? Um, got a work order to go with tonight. Repairing a really busted up Nintendo DS. I mean, just look at that thing. Um, Ribbon cable is snapped. I can see that right in here. It's just about maybe a quarter to halfway through the cable is snapped. So we ended up ordering a brand new shelf for this. We got new top screen lens. We got a new bottom touch digitizer. We'll probably end up using all new buttons and membranes, possibly. I'm sure we're missing screws. And to modernize it, I got a USB-C port that we're gonna pop on there. So I'm gonna try and take my time here. I'm trying to get better at doing shorts. I know not everybody wants to watch these live videos, but they're really digging some of the shorts that we do. So I'm really wanting to take my time to explain what I'm doing a little bit more. That way I can cut some of these videos into shorts and post really quick how-tos. So, well, I'm going to get started because I'm actually pretty behind here on some of my work orders I need to get done. I got this and another DS Lite that I really need to get finished. So that I can get these back to my guy that bulk orders machines, and then he can get me a whole new set of consoles, hopefully. So here we go. A lot of this should just be, what are we looking at here? No, that's a tri-wing. The Philips one's a little too big. I think Philips Zero should work. Or double zero. Let me grab a Philips Zero real quick, just in case. The double zero will work, but I just want to make sure that we get a really good fit in there. Yeah, that one definitely felt like more like a zero to me. No water damage to this, so that's good. If you're wondering how you can tell if there's water damage, there's a white sticker with some reddish pink dots. This whole sticker would be pinkish red if there was water damage. Well, I mean, there still could be water damage in some places, but there's a good chance that there's not. All right, we're going to need to get the tri-wing. This is my first time taking one of these apart, so you're going to have to bear with me here. I've done the DS Lites, but this is my first DS. So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws. Except they actually grab and they're not all busted up. All right, there we go. There's 1. Two. Three. Man, those are stripped out in there, that's for sure. Oh, it's the first time I've ever unscrewed stuff on one of these consoles, and this here, nothing but crunching. I'm going to assume a lot of these are actually just broken off. We'll find out here in a second. It's 4. Oh boy. I'm telling you, that is interesting. Nope, just lost a bunch of pieces. Excuse me 1 second while I go hunt for what I just dropped on the ground. Well, I found a spring, but that's it. That's okay. Most of everything I should have is a replacement anyways. Yeah, so look at that plastic in there. There's 1, 2. I'm doing that another way. There's 1, 2, and 3 plastic pieces that are just lodged into this. It's like all the standoffs. All right, so I'm gonna try and salvage those screws. And we'll grab some tweezers, hold on to it. Oh, it is just crumbling. Well, there's our screw. Let me see if I can just crack these. Yeah, I'm wondering what happened to this thing. I wonder if it got baked in the sun really, really bad, or if it survived some sort of oven trip. Who knows? Yikes. There we go. Okay, I'll put the bottom piece aside here, and let's clean up the desk just a little bit so I'm not scratching up any of the new parts. old crappy paintbrush that I never had any use for, so comes in handy now. Okay. I think the other button launched somewhere. It's okay, we got new springs in this kit anyways. New springs, buttons, all that good stuff. Okay, so this is going to be the bottom screen, which we want to make sure that stays intact. Ooh. This one's got more ribbon cables on it than the other ones do. So I'm just popping these ribbon cables out. I imagine that's for the touchscreen sensor. I'm not sure what the second one's for though. But we'll pull both those out. What else do we need to do? Let's go ahead and switch back to a Philips Zero. Where did my Philips Zero go? There it is. I am butterfingers tonight. Oh my goodness. Great. Hold on a second. Oh, there it is. If I didn't find it, I was about to pull out this magnetic broom that my girlfriend got me. Almost came in handy. Okay, so there's 1, 2, and 3 screws holding in the motherboard. And we'll pop out the, I imagine that's the Wi-Fi antenna. Yeah, it has to be. Okay. And the top board just comes right out. Very cool. Microphone's built right into the board. I actually really like this design. I don't know why they switched away from it. The DS Lite's so much more complicated to work on. Okay. What do we got here next? This thing is just so many pieces are coming out of this. Yeah, just crumbling apart. No doubt that this thing needed a new shell. put that to the side. Okay. I'm not worried about this top screen ribbon because I already know it's trash, but I want to see how you would pull these off normally. I guess just really careful. Okay. Oh, there we go. And what else do we need to do to separate this? It looks like there's another screw in here that would normally, it's hard to tell what's the top and what's not with how busted this thing is. Hmm. Well, this looks like a diffuser here. It's a big ass diffuser. Let's go ahead and attempt to take apart the top. Jesus. It looks like somebody tried to take it apart at one point in time. These are like really gooey. They're not even staying together. It's like picking a booger, man. This is gross. I'm actually looking forward to taking another one of these apart just to see if this is like a one-off, like somebody really screwed this thing up. Or are they all like this, where they just crumble apart? Ah, I like how these are all pretty much the same size too, instead of like the DS Lite has different size screws for every section, it feels like. Okay. I definitely do enjoy this though, especially like the first time that I have to get this thing apart. All right, next question is, how does this come apart? Well, you break it, I guess. I'm not doing this on purpose. I am barely pulling. And this thing is just shattering. Okay. Little chunkies at a time, I guess. I think the back piece was supposed to come off in one pull there. Okay. So after that comes off, it looks like there's two screws holding in the Wi-Fi antenna. Well, one screw for the Wi-Fi antenna, but it also holds speakers. Okay. And these are like the same style speakers that you would find in the Game Boy Advance SP, which is really cool. I wish they would do more like that. Okay, we'll take out this second screw over here. So I believe along with being a Wi-Fi antenna, it's also a speaker, some kind of sound board or speaker amplifier or something. This side even has ribbon cables on it for the screen and the top screen ribbon cable. So here we go. We got the ribbon cable out. And there is that tear. Sorry, I'm trying to see if the camera can focus in on it. Now, even though this is my first time pulling one of these apart, I took one look at this thing and I was able to tell him exactly what happened. Actually, I think I told him what happened before um before I even saw it. You know, he told me that the hinge cracked in half and I was like, he's like, it was working, but then I dropped it and the hinge cracked in half. And at that point I was just like, I guarantee you ripped the top ribbon cable. These things won't even power on anymore if that's the case. I was really wanting to kind of walk you through this guy a little bit more, but I don't know how easy that's going to be for me tonight. This is my first time actually taking one of these apart, so that's okay. We might just have to learn this one together tonight, and then of course the next time I do one, we'll have a little bit more practice and I can kind of explain what I'm doing better. Okay. So at this point, I'm barely pulling on this. Okay. That fell right out, so that's good. So did this. Oh, well, that's nice. That finally just came out. That took no effort to pull that bottom screen out. is the top screen is a little different though. Oh man. I do not like that. That feels so weird. The plastic is that brittle. Okay. Well, that screen's out for right now. We're gonna have to take off the glass on the... Well, that's coming off. There we go. That stickiness took all the plastic with it. That thing came off super easy, by the way. I just want to try and pick all this broken plastic out of here. Man, that really sucks. Yeah, I have to do another shell transfer on one of these. I have to know if they're all like this or if this is just a special case. Like, did they put some sort of chemical on this thing to clean it and just ate away at the plastic? Made it nice and brittle? Okay. Let's carefully put that aside for right now. I'm going to keep all the membranes and stuff in there for right now. I haven't decided. I mean, we'll definitely use some new buttons, but we might reuse the membranes. I know how those always tend to be a little bit... They always feel kind of crappy with the aftermarket membranes. Okay. So we got our top piece here. I'm super scared to tear this one apart. Brand new, and I'm like, wait, is it gonna crumble like the other one? Let's use a plastic pry tool on some of this. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm actually being harder on this. It's together pretty well. There we go. Well, let's get that top screen put in here. That didn't work out. Oh, had it in the wrong way. There we go. That's nice. That's in there. Now let's get our speakers in. Before we do that, we'll go ahead and clean the speakers actually. Oh, that's funny. I've just dropped that Q-tip and it just stood up. Okay. And go ahead and get that screw in. I'm going to be a little careful here when it comes to tightening this. Okay. Now this one, forgive me here, I'm going to be real careful with these. Okay, so we'll get the second part of this up. Ribbon cables are a little bit more difficult on this one than the DS Lite, but not too bad. I see a lot more benefits than I see cons compared to the DS Lite. Especially with the, it's nice that both screens are exactly the same. So both the top screen and the bottom screen are the exact same screen for the DS. That is not the case with the DS Lite. With the DS Lite, the screens are 100% attached with their own. Sorry, the ribbon cables are attached with their own special ribbon cable for the top and one for the bottom. And they're not easy to replace. Or possible, it may not be possible or easy to replace the top or bottom screen cables on the DS Lite. Okay. So let's tuck this cable. I think we don't route anything through this. Oh, I screwed that down. I didn't want to screw that down yet. I'm sorry. I forgot. There's one more cable we got to plug in. Question is, where did that cable end up going? Oh, here it is. There we go. Now what do we got here? Dude, this thing is a clusterfuck. Okay. All right, now this thing can get screwed back down. And it should also help us put a proper fold into the cable. Okay. So carefully, we're going to massage and bend that cable into place. Ideally, I don't want to put a crease in it. And hopefully there's enough adhesive here to keep that stuck down. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. So the next step for this whole process, okay, is we need to put a roll into this cable. And that part is usually pretty difficult. But we need to get that roll in it so that sorry, I'm focusing while I'm talking at the same time. Sometimes that's a challenge for me. So I'm just trying to get a proper roll into this cable so that the top piece can go on successfully, which that might be enough. Well, not really. See, I just didn't want to pinch the cable, but I think we're good to go now. Oh, no, we're not good to go. I'm going to have to take that back off because we're pinching the Wi-Fi cable. I thought there was more to this Wi-Fi cable. Where the hell does this come out? Let me look this one up real quick. You know, this one was a little bit of a challenge since it came in pieces already. I'll give a shout out to anybody that can tell me what this information is online. Game. No, this is a Nintendo DS original Wi-Fi antenna routing. Let's see if iFixit can tell me. That's for a DS Lite, not a DS. Lots of DS Lite, but no DS. Well, I guess I'm figuring this one out myself. I feel like it has something to do with that. We'll give this a try. No. Nope, that is not going to work. Okay. Well, it's closing. Nothing's pinching. Okay. We'll take that for now. Let's see. So how the hell does this work? I feel like this one might be worse than the DS Lite a little bit. What in the hell? Okay. I feel like this one's going to take me a little bit here. How the hell do you do this without that cracking? Well, you know what? We're not going to take a chance on that. This is a third-party shell, so my theory is that there's a slight chance that the specs are off on it. So let's take a little bit of time and carefully that might be all that took. I mean, that really does want to go. I mean, we're talking about, it's like millimeters off. I just don't want to risk putting a hole in the, or any kind of crack. Yeah, we're so close to that just going right through there. Just get a little bit on each side. Yeah, that is like about to go through. There's a chance I should have probably watched some videos on this one, but I don't know. I kind of like the challenge here. Dude, that is about to go through. If anybody watches this and actually sees something or knows a better way to do this than I do, please feel free to let me know. There we go. Did I do it the right way, though? Went through, so that's a win. Yeah, that should be... Okay. That looks right to me. I'm not even sure how I just came up with all that. Just trying to route the Wi-Fi cable through now. And that should close. So this goes in like this. And then I want to say it pinches in like that. Well, we'll try here in a second. Right now we need to figure out how the damn hinges are going to go in. Okay, we're gonna have to pop this top plate off again, I think. There's definitely some difficulty to this one that is a little bit more unique than the DS Lites. It's more of an order of operations thing. I could tell that much at least. Okay. So the hinges, you could tell one's longer than the other. So I imagine okay. Just trying to get that to push in. There we go. All right, and the other hinge. Let's make sure that's going in the right way. This one's a little bit more challenging. Ah, come on, you almost went in. I'm actually wondering if that hinge needs to be turned somehow. There's a chance that hinge is locked up. Did they give us new hinges in this kit? I don't think they do. That looks a bit healthier. It seemed to move, so let's try that again. If the plastic's broke, I mean, this thing definitely could have just been more on the brittle side. Hey, that looks like it went right in. Will that go in any further? All right, we'll give that a shot. There's a chance we might need to get some new hinges for this thing. Okay. Well, go ahead and get some buttons in here. There we go. We got Y. We got A on the opposite side. B on the bottom. And X on the top. Then we've got, I'm going to use the stock diffuser. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. That should be microphone. We got power, select, and start. Start goes on the outside. Power on the opposite side. Oh, let's make sure that was the right side up. Yep. And then we got select. And then we got our D-pad, which that looks like it might only go in one way. There we go. Um, we clean these up a little bit, and we're going to use the stock pads, membranes, as they call them. Okay. All right. Now let's clean up the other membrane. Okay. Now we should be able to, well, we got to get the screen in first. Let's go ahead and put this aside for just a second. And what we'll want to do is take the touchscreen digitizer that's all scratched up, and we're going to want to pop that off. If I can do it without touching the screen at all, that'd be great. I'm just giving it a gentle pull, letting it separate from the adhesive. Goes on that way. And then hopefully should be, you can kind of line it up exactly with the whoops, that was not exact. You can see the indentations in it in the adhesive. It's kind of hard to see on camera, I'm sure. There we go. Push that down. We got a nice non-scratched, well, underneath that protective barrier anyways. Which we'll go ahead and take that off real quick. So that should lay flat in here. There we go. Oh, not there we go. Wow. Try that again. I needed to get some screws in that top screen, but I'm not ready for that yet. Okay. Let's see. So, next step. So, see, if I remember correctly, this just kind of, yeah, it just sits right there. Oh, this is good. So we'll peel up the corner of this real quick. Let me use sharper tweezers. I can figure out where those went. Yep, under the board. Man, how do you like that? everything's just falling into place. Very cool. Okay. So that leaves the last bit of this. We'll... Uh-oh. What am I missing here? Oh, no, it's all there. Okay. Good, good, good. So we got all the ribbon cables through. Let me get this spring out of here, then. Okay, so that doesn't want to align. And the reason for that, I imagine there's another bend in it. Let's go ahead and get that plugged in. You know, this is a cool challenge tonight. I wasn't expecting this one. I thought it was either going to go bad or it would be a lot easier than it was. This is a lot harder than I expected it to be, and it's going a lot better than I expected it to go. Well, let's knock on wood. We're not done yet, so I want to jinx myself there. Okay. So right now I think I'm ready to get the screws in to the motherboard for this. There's 3 screws for the motherboard. Okay. Then we can get the Wi-Fi card plugged back in. Might have went a little too fast there, but that's okay. Oh, I got clicks. Heck yeah. Those hinges are good. The part that I might have went a little too fast on is I think there's a screw I need to get in for that top piece. I just wasn't sure about the hinges yet, though. But now I am. The only problem is that's in the way. Okay. So this does need to go in further. There we go. Nope. I'm really happy about that. We just need to get that thing flat into place. Okay, so this isn't a big deal. We'll undo the motherboard real quick. I'm really impressed with this for considering this is my first time doing this. This is sorry, not this in general. It's my first time doing the fat DS. I've done plenty of DS lights, and it's definitely helped the fact that I've done plenty of DS lights. But you know, this one has got quite a few differences in it that I just wasn't expecting, and with as mangled as the old body was. I'm kind of shocked that I didn't run into more issues tonight. Okay. I see where that hole is. Let me see if I can get around that ribbon cable real careful. Let's be on the safe side here. All I gotta do is lay it back down. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, get out of the way. Okay. Get that last screw in there. That's good. All right, now let's lay this cable back down, the ribbon cable, and put the foam back over top of it. Okay, now let's pop the motherboard back in. Feed the right side cables through first. Come on. There we go. That's all 3 ribbon cables in. Let's pull out the Wi-Fi cable. And let's get everything mounted correctly. Let's get this ribbon cable in. Why does that feel off? Because it is. Try that one more time. All right, come on, bend, bend. What are you stuck on? God damn it. Excuse me. Okay. Now let's get the Wi-Fi cable plugged back in. Okay. Get the motherboard secured again. Okay. Double clicks. That's what I like to hear. Excuse me, 1 second. I had to go pet the dog in celebration. Okay. Let's get these other 2 ribbon cables in. Okay. And the bottom screen. Okay. Let's pop this. I'm gonna pop this Wi-Fi cable into its little cradle here. There we go. That I do remember seeing. Okay. Let's try out this battery real quick and see if we can get this thing to turn on. It may not have any charge to it though. Okay. Let's get it back together. That way we can get a charging cable on it and go from there. Let me check the old, wherever I put it. Here it is. So these look fairly similar. I do like, I'm going to take that old shield off though. The old shield has some plastic over it that this new one doesn't, and I don't like when raw metal happens to have the ability to touch the board. There may not be anything there for it to short out on, but I'm not going to take that chance. So that's the new one. This is the old one with the plastic cover on it. No point in doing all this work just for something stupid to short out. Okay. Before we do that, let's work on getting these switches back in. The shoulder buttons. Let's see how they go in first. Yeah, that's the left side. I think. Yep, just need a spring in it. There we go. That went in nice and easy. Just had to see where the spring was going to go. Okay. Where's my screwdriver? Ah, there it is. Yeah, let's go ahead and replace that. Except it doesn't really want to come off. Actually, I'm not going to replace that one. This one looks a little different. I'll figure that one out later. I'm not going to push my luck tonight. Okay. Let's see if we can get this thing to charge. Let me grab a charger real fast. Here we go. So this one should take the old Game Boy Advance style charger. Nope, we got no charge. Why don't we have a charge? Is it in all the way? Oh, there we go. Wasn't in all the way. It's a little bit of a tight fit in that charging port. No power yet. It could be because the battery's completely dead. Let's see. Let's just check on that real quick. Nintendo DS original. Can you power it on with the charger? With no battery. What if the battery is dead? Sorry, I'm kind of talking to myself here. Okay. So if the battery is completely dead, it will not turn on immediately. We need some juice in the battery. Well, the fact that it's charging, though, is a really good thing. I unfortunately do not have a spare Nintendo DS battery laying around. But the last bit of what we need to do tonight is just get that top screen in after we clean the screen a little bit. And finish getting in all the bolts. Screws. Whatever you want to call it. I was just hoping to not have to do that until after. But the shell's still good, so we'll do a couple things like this, like get the final decals in and all that good stuff. This was just a cheap AliExpress shell too. I'm actually kind of impressed with the quality of it, considering. Come on. It's 3.7 volts. Let's see how many volts are currently in it. battery actually feels like it's a little swollen too. Let's see, DC, we got negative. And positive. 3.5. I thought I saw something pop up on the screen for a split second. Okay. Well, while we're waiting, let's, for the hell of it, go ahead and start getting this thing completely back together. It's a possibility that when this thing snapped, I mean, it could have popped a capacitor or something like that. And I might need to get into this thing again and do some troubleshooting, but we'll figure it out. Well, I don't like that. There's really nothing there, huh? Yeah, well, let's take it apart again, do some troubleshooting. I had to jinx myself. Okay. So, I see an F2 there. which means there's usually an F1 somewhere. So let's check the fuses. Ah, there it is. Okay, so we're just going to do some continuity mode here. Okay. So F2 is good. Where is F1? What the fuck is that? It doesn't look like a fuse. Just make sure that that screen cable is seated properly. Nothing. Resistors. Yeah, that is weird. Just checking something that looked like a resistor, kind of. Okay. Hmm. Let's do some troubleshooting. Looking up troubleshooting here. Well, it says we need to leave the console on for about 1 hour. Battery says it has 3.5 volts. Not sure. Oh, A reading of 3.5 volts means your battery is heavily discharged and near empty, not fully charged. The original Nintendo DS uses a 1-cell lithium-ion battery with a normal voltage at 3.7 volts. In these types of batteries, the voltage fluctuates based on how much capacity is left. 3.5 volts is below 10 to 15% charge. 3.7, 50% charge, normal 4.2 volts, 100% fully charged. Okay. Where is fuse? There's fuse F1. Nope. By the charging pins. By the battery pins is F2. Oh, it says F1 is by the charging port. I don't see it though. There is no F1 by the charging port. Oh, there's only one main motherboard fuse labeled F2. Routes both battery power protection and charging protection through the single F2 fuse. Well, we're getting a charging light, so I'm not worried about that. I think we're actually just looking at a super dead battery. And so instead of worrying about it, let's let this thing charge for a while. That sucks. I really like to finish these projects on stream, but I'm not going to make you guys hang out with me for an hour while this thing charges. As I get more of these parts in my possession in the future, I'll probably have some batteries laying around, but tonight that's just not the case. Okay. Well, I have another DS Lite that I need to get done tomorrow night, and that's got to happen. So, I'll report back to you guys tomorrow night and let you know how this goes. We'll kind of do like a finishing up on this, hopefully. And what else? I'm sorry. Oh, and we'll start the DS Lite. So I appreciate anybody who's tuning in tonight. Tomorrow with the DS Lite, I should be able to be a lot more informative and give better instructions as I am taking that thing apart. I've done enough of those by now where I know the ins and outs of it. So I'll be excited to do that stream. The coolest thing about tonight's stream, in my opinion, is watching this old case just crumble. That is absolutely insane. No idea why that happened. But it was cool to experience. Kind of hope I don't run into that again, but you never know, I might. I'd like to reuse as much of these parts as I can because I really like the original Nintendo shell parts, but that's okay. So hopefully if you guys are tuning in and watching this video, maybe look into tuning in tomorrow night, which is also 7/27. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you feel like it. It helps me out and keeps me motivated to keep making videos.